Good evening and happy holidays. Welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We are broadcasting live and then on demand on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, and of course, YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, December 21st, 2022, and I'm your anchor, FayWhat, and I'm filling in for Al Ferguson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For your birthday, we got rid of him. Happy birthday.
Oh my God, my wish came true. Wow. So I was wearing these glasses because I thought that like Mrs. Claus was like older and more like sophisticated and smart. But then I noticed that they kind of make me look like Al Ferguson. So I'm going to take them out.
Good idea.
Yeah, look like Mrs. Claus.
Al Ferguson does.
Mrs. Claus has to be sexy to keep that man going for centuries, so I like without the glasses.
Remember the animation show from Rudolph, the Grinch, the guy that was trying to fight Rudolph? That guy, Mr. Freeze?
Yes, Mr.
Like.
Freeze. Wow. All right.
I'm go with Finding Nemo, but
I like Mr. Freeze better. So welcome to season 4 of the first LGBTQ plus talk show of its kind in the world. We are going to laugh and play through our LGBTQ plus world. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day I realized I'm
absolutely right. Far too dangerous. Only the bravest lie.
Yes!
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic.
It's all happening out tonight with your hosts, lesbian activist FayWhat, leadership coach and leather sir Mark Moffitt, pansexual leather daddy Elimination, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casañas, Muslim American communications exec Kal Gajraj, drag queen and comedian Auntie Maim. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
We are so queer and so full of ourselves. We're totally looking at the intro like, yeah, look hot, look at that, yeah. We're like clapping for each other and everything. We are some sick people. So this season forecast is the most diverse in our history. It's Happening Out is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 37 years. And Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. All right, who needs a drink?
Me!
Hey, yes.
You know that the more you drink, the more I love you all, right?
Yeah. And the more I love you too, though.
The better thing looks, though. You know, the more sexier, the prettier,
Yes.
the skinnier she gets, the boobs grow.
Okay, I get it. I understand now. All right. Jeez. Let's play our first game. It's a yes or no game called I'd Swallow That, and I know that Elimination is an expert about swallowing things. So, all right. We have played this game since season 1, episode 1, and we invite you at home to play along. Get that big cup. You know the one, the Flanagan's one, if you're down here in South Florida, and make a nice stiff drink in it, all right? And play along with us as we make 3 statements to our hosts. If you agree with the statement, take the shot, all right? Easy peasy. You disagree, well, it might be a long night, but take the shot anyway. All right.
Amen.
All right, let's play I'd Swallow That. Grab your first shot. I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ plus community's favorite spirit brand. You know it, it's Bacardi, baby. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand and a special sponsor of our nonprofit 501c3 efforts to educate, inform, and empower the LGBTQ plus community. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ plus community, and our neighbors here in South Florida, they're the world's largest privately held spirits company. Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ plus community with sponsorship, pride embracements, and deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ plus charities and causes. And that's why tonight, It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. Here we go. So the Carol Burnett Award goes to true legends in television. And the prom-famed gay director Ryan Murphy is certainly one of those. Murphy will become just the 4th ever recipient of the Golden Globes Carol Burnett Award at this year's ceremony on January 10th. The award honors someone based on their body of work and the lasting impact that their television career achievements have had on both the industry and audiences. The first Carol Burnett Award was given to Burnett herself at the 2019 ceremony. Remember the ear twitching and all that, right? Yes. Since then, Ellen DeGeneres won it, and Norman Lear have also won the award. The Golden Globe nominations were announced recently with queer nominees including Aubrey Plaza, Emma D'Arcy, Hannah Einbinder, I'm sorry if I got that name wrong, Jeremy Pope, and Niecy Nash. I love Niecy Nash. Yes. Love her and her beautiful wife. This Christmas is truly proudly queer. Question number 1 with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Ryan Murphy is perfect for Golden Globe's Carol Burnett Award.
Yes. I agree with that.
Here, here.
Although it is weird to give yourself an award. Did Carol Burnett give herself the award, or it was named after her?
It was named after her, and she was the first, person to get it.
Just like Michael Jackson for the Grammys when they did it for him.
But I will agree though. When I did the research, nothing against Ryan Murphy and his body of work. I mean, American Horror Story,
or his body.
Or that too. But what I love, when I first thought about it, Carol Burnett was such a comedic superstar, an actress, a singer, the whole comedy that she could do, that slapstick. And so I'm thinking, okay, we should find someone that could do all of that and stand out. And so when I looked up, I was like, well, that's not Ellen. But then Ellen did make a difference in her show to the masses, Norman Lear, all his shows. And so after that research, I saw how Ryan Murphy changed.
Yes, because we forget all the stuff that he's done. Think back when we first saw Glee. Remember when we first saw Glee, we were like, queer.
But before Glee, he did Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck too.
Early 2000s.
And Nip Tuck was so well written. Dahmer. He's done Dahmer, and he got 4 nominees for that at his Golden Globes.
He's literally changed modern, I would say, 21st century television.
Oh, absolutely.
If you really look at his body of work, it's a lot of followers now. He set the trend. I mean, American Horror Story, when it first, we all remember when it first came out, people were like, what is this? Right. Now it's a cultural touchstone every time it comes out. And this newest season, where he just laid it to bear and put the queer community out there and just said, well, take it, right?
Well, it's not only that, everything he touches turns to gold. And even the actors, everybody he brings wins an Emmy, essentially, at the end of the year. It's insane.
It's true, but with American Horror Story, I think that they had to give us 4 amazing seasons for him to be as queer as he was in this last one, because it was just like, we're gay, this is what's going on, it's during the 80s, this is what it is.
Yep. Let's not forget Pose.
But the only I'm going to say, everything was educational, even down to the witches and the whole, the mixing of the races and how he brought that Angela Bassett and the people that he brings that don't often do TV, that come in and then outshine, and that career goes to the next level.
Yep. He also did Ratched. Did you guys see that? Right, about Nurse Ratched. That was awesome.
And Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did he do Eat, Pray, Love?
Yes.
He did.
Wow.
He did.
The thing that I like about him, though, is that, especially with Angela Bassett, is that he started making television a vehicle, a proper vehicle. I mean, most of us are old enough to remember that when a movie star moved to television, that's because their career was over.
Yeah.
Now, because of a lot of the things he produced, it became a thing where it's like, yes, I have an Oscar, I'm going to go do Ryan Murphy stuff. Yeah. Right? Absolutely. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, no, I'm going to go win an Emmy now because this is well written. And I think that part of this is that's the changing landscape that he helped shift. Yeah. It was a few different shows that came along, like Damages with Glenn Close, but it wasn't a lot of them, but they started making this world where it was television's okay now, you guys. Anybody can come to television and still maintain your movie career and still have cred, which was not there prior to.
And not to shit on his thought process either, but he kind of migrates and he moves around with the same people.
Oh, sure.
A lot of the same actors are in a lot of his same shows.
Well, and I don't think he moves around. I think he gives them the opportunity to shine, John. Think about Billy Porter. People think that Billy Porter just overnight success. No, bitch. That guy has been working for 20 plus years in his industry.
An R&B superstar.
Yep.
And you would have never known. Never known had you really
then
gone
Broadway, and then he does American Horror Story, and then Ryan is like, oh, we got to use him for something else. Exactly. Let's put him on Pose. Only the biggest LGBTQ plus show ever to date now.
No one else could have been Pray Tell.
No.
Ryan Murphy also, there is a consistent theme of him also bringing kink to the front too, which I appreciate just as much as the gay themes and letting people be open and talk about it, because the more we love ourselves and those parts, I think the more we love other people.
And the more we understand,
Yeah.
right? Because in the New American Horror Story, it really did hit on more bondage, kink, stuff like that.
Yeah, but was it in a positive light? Do you guys think, did you take that as in like, this is an opportunity for people to explore these types of
Well, I mean, the guy
kinks?
was killing people. So
No, I mean,
yeah, that's my point.
It's
That's my
kind of in the
point.
villain category, but it's out there, and it at
real.
least becomes a discussion.
Yeah.
And something that people can talk about. I mean, growing up, we tend not to see ourselves at all. Any
Yeah.
good version, any bad version, anything. He's totally changed that for generations.
And it's also when you definitely, especially talk about the kink conversation, you always have to talk about non-negotiables. There has to be a conversation. And so if you see what not to do, then you know when you have that negotiation, this is where we're not going because this is where I saw could go left.
This is not enthusiastic
This is
consent.
what we're not
Yes.
going to do.
It's
This is
definitely
where
a
I want to
teaching
go.
moment.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Everything
teaching
about
moment.
teaching, and that's his whole body work is all about teaching. The nurse. How can you make a whole medical series interesting? And like, okay, maybe I will trust my doctors, or maybe I won't trust Nurse Ratched. But at the same time, again, New Orleans, if you don't really understand the body of work and the history of New Orleans, you get it through
watch it.
through Kobe, the whole Coven thing. So it's amazing what he has done. And so then, as I said, do that research. Cheers to Ryan Murphy.
And
Well,
he
here.
respected, yeah, he respected New York. He respected New Orleans, like you said. You know,
He's become such a household name now that, like, for instance, when The Watcher started, I watched it only because he was
Ryan
part of
Murphy.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, 100%.
Now
Yeah,
that's
that makes
become the
sense.
And
decision
how many
maker.
queer creators are like that? There's
Right.
not
Yep.
many in this
Right.
world.
No.
And to Auntie Maim's point, I think people are like, oh, Ryan Murphy's doing something? I want in.
I wanna watch
I want
it.
in.
I wanna-
And-
I want to see
And
I
how
wanna
he's
see.
going to fit the LGBTQ plus community in this film
Right.
movie or whatever.
I just don't
He's always
know.
gonna
I just
put
don't know
something.
how he does it. He has to have a team, because once you get so much is going on, it's your fingerprint kind of starts to blur, and it's no longer yours.
Like Shonda Rhimes.
That's too much. Yeah, like there's too much
Right?
going on.
But I think what happens is, especially in the creator community, right? You basically start essentially making your own profits, right?
Yeah.
So the people that are under you that go to do these things that you're producing, your finger's still there, but your advocates and your profits are the ones that are directing it, the ones that are doing that. And I think to a lot of extent, that's what happens to this bigger world, right? Especially the creator community.
Yeah.
Because now, because of all the avenues, I mean, good gracious, how many streaming networks are there? How many television
Too
networks
much
are
to
there?
watch.
I know.
It's impossible for any one creator to do all. Like, think about Norman Lee, right? He could do it because we only had 3 networks, right? So
Yeah.
he could make 9 television shows because there was only 3 networks. But now you have to create that. But I think that him creating that and giving voice very much to a lot of queer people and people of color, he's giving them now the fire to go and make their own start.
Yeah.
And so they have that credential now. Like, I did this with him.
Yep.
Take my projects now too.
The start of evolution. The start of evolution.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of like the activism too, because Carol Burnett, Ellen DeGeneres, I just think of activism, and they deserve an award.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of plays into his
It
activism
does.
part.
It does.
Yeah.
We'll be watching the Golden Globes, and I know for a fact that he's going to win a bunch of other awards for shows,
Oh, yeah.
including the Carol Burnett
That
award.
Dahmer's
That-
Me next.
That
Me
Dahmer's
next,
gonna win
obviously.
everything.
Because it
Stupid
took over.
Dahmer.
Write that down.
And next, effeminate men no longer corner the market on LGBTQ plus villainy. And LGBTQ plus audiences have grown to appreciate queer and trans evildoers on screen or on the page. A recent thread in the LGBT subreddit was devoted to the best LGBTQ plus villains of all time. And here are some of the baddie users raved about. Him from the Powerpuff Girls. Do you folks remember that?
Yes.
Yes. Look at yeah. He's so gay. Look at that.
I've done that character before.
So gay, so gay. Scar from The Lion King.
Yes.
So evil.
Yes.
See, but it didn't
Total
hit me till
Bear,
later,
even though he
though.
was a
It
lion.
didn't hit me so late either.
Yeah.
He just that uncle that's just really out there. That, you know,
That's gay.
that you wasn't sure, but you're like, maybe, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But then he lives in a bunch of hyenas. In a cave. By himself.
I was looking for the proof.
Right,
and
you
there
got
it
it
is.
now.
Yeah.
Right, Mark?
And
Yeah,
there it is. And there it is.
Sounds like
There it
me
is.
all of a sudden. I'm
One
like,
that was super apparent to me was Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I mean-
Ursula is literally based on an actual drag queen. So, I mean, that's the thing that for me, because The Little Mermaid for me, like, it's right in that age zone, right? For a lot of us.
Yeah.
That finding that out later, it was like soul enriching because I was drawn to this character. I've done that character a few times. I've sang the songs, but when you find out and you actually can look at and you can see the stills of Divine,
I was just going to say, is it Devon?
Yes.
You can
Because of the.
literally see the still. They actually have a thing online where they show you some of the photographs of Divine that like actually inspired the design of the character, and it's almost exact.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
That you realize like, how subversive that was at the time. I mean, this is '89. This is like the height of AIDS.
Yeah.
I mean, Divine was like at this point like near death. Like this is a major thing that they just slid right there under the radar.
Slid right in.
It kind of
But we know.
legitimizes the character also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
But the body, again, the body work that Divine had and the impact that Divine had on culture.
Yep.
On when
But it would have been nice.
And they're like, let's make her a
You know,
villain.
it would have been nice to get.
Well, I would say that too, but at the same time, Divine couldn't have sang the song that same way.
Oh no. How about
God rest her soul.
How about Team Rocket from the Pokemon franchise?
Zero interest.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How about Clay Puppington from Morale Orel?
What is that?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, Moral Oral.
Oh,
Sorry. Moral
Moral Oral.
Sorry, yes.
That was your age, girl. That was your age.
If anybody's never not
was
seen,
French.
if anybody's ever not seen Moral Oral, you can actually watch it on HBO Max. It's a very good show that pokes fun at. I don't know if you remember this from the 70s and 80s. There was this claymation Christian kid show called Davy and Goliath.
Yes.
Yes. So Moral Oral literally is like a
So Moral Oral was a claymation style.
yeah, it's claymation style. It's the whole. It's literally a parody of that show.
Got it.
And
Oh
so,
my God.
but the character. Oh man, some of
I
the
love
stuff they
that.
get
We
away
no,
with
we gotta look
That's
that up.
fun.
Yeah.
One user says Katra. Oh, I love
Yes.
from She-Ra.
Oh my God, from
Oh my
She-Ra.
God, yes.
I forgot about her.
That's the perfect answer. I love
But
that.
not only that, but She-Ra itself had a non-binary character. Another lesbian, the claw. I can't think of the name. The person with the claws, the lobster character.
Yep.
I mean, this trend-setting all the way around.
Yeah.
Wait, and these are confirmed
Oh yeah.
Oh
queer.
yeah, Catcher loves She-Ra.
Yeah, and the
Very
thing
much
is-
in a crush.
The thing about She-Ra
Katara,
too,
yeah.
Katara.
She-Ra
Yes.
for me was that this new version of She-Ra is actually really interesting because obviously I watch a lot of animation, but this is trickling into all of the Netflix animation because there's a show now based on the Dragon's Age game franchise that literally the emphasis of the show is a lesbian romance. Like that's the point of the show because it's like two women trying to like get through this last mission, go retire off
What's
in
the
the
name
country.
of the show? Do you know?
Dragon Age Absolution.
Oh, I love
it's
that.
called.
I
so
love that.
Oh my
like
gosh.
kisses
The
and like
animation
all of
is
that.
What about
love
that?
that.
What is the other Comedy Central one that's like Archer? Is that,
Archer?
is that,
Archer's fantastic.
is that gay too or no?
It has gay
No,
parts.
It has
there's
gay
there's
stuff,
gay
right?
parts.
It's
Yeah.
got gay stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
But She-Ra had all the elements, though. I mean, the gay, the non-binary. The,
Oh, wow.
I mean, the gay-focused love, the love story that was there that you know you kind of watched, but like you rooted for, but you didn't because Catcher was bad, but she wasn't. The non-binary character could do with anything and could be anyone. Not only could choose, but just be. That was.
Oh, I love that character.
That's why you have so many gay villains, because if you're going to be a villain and not just a bad guy, you have to be able to get away with it.
And
You
look
can't just be
fabulous
bad
while you're doing it.
and look good and use
Yeah.
disguises and
Yeah.
play two different characters. So of course they're going to be.
Well,
gay.
and we all know
Sure.
that, because LGBTQ+, we are what we are. The
Yes.
villains are always going to steal the show. We always
Always
remember
the best character.
queer villains. We love queer villains. And rather, let us binge watch these shows this holiday season and celebrate the LGBTQ+ villains of all time.
Yes.
Watch this.
Yes! Well, I love it when you girls fight. I think you should fight more often. Oh, Bubbles, don't cry, little one. I'm here for you.
And he's absolutely right. Far too dangerous. Only the bravest lions go there.
Well, I'm brave. What's up?
I'm sorry, Simba. I just can't tell you.
Why not?
Simba, I'm only looking out for the well-being of my favorite nephew.
Yeah, right. I'm your only nephew.
All the more reason for me to be protective. An elephant graveyard is no place for a young prince. Oops.
And else.
Question number 2 with the Bacardi shot. I'd swallow that. So bad, they're good. These are the best LGBTQ+ villains of all time. Take your shot.
Cheers.
Do you folks have anybody else that you would add to the list? Like I was thinking
Yeah.
Frankfurter, right?
Yes,
Of-
Frankenfurter.
right.
Yeah,
What about
Rocky.
Jafar from Aladdin?
Jafar from Aladdin,
Oh,
for
Hondo
sure.
P.
For sure.
What's really funny is that I think that our culture now has changed the narrative on that because there's actually a documentary called Queer Coded that's talking about a little bit about this, and at the time it was a negative, right? At the time, because at that time queer people were negative, and only because of time and evolution of culture do people now look at it and say, "Oh my God, these are the most fabulous characters in the entire thing. This is actually great.
But do you think it's still queer coding? Because these characters that we describe as villains in these movies, they're alone, they're eccentric, they have accents. They have,
I think
I was just thinking that, and I was thinking like the Grinch. I was like, is the Grinch a homo? Because he should be.
I mean, think
Right,
about he's
Jim
like,
Carrey with the dog hanging out with the dog all the time.
Think about like the thing that we showed on the last broadcast, right? When he talks about his day, right? Talking about all of his appointments he has to do. Literally, that's not very hetero.
That's me with my calendar. What are you talking about?
But the thing is that makes it so funny is that it's
exactly.
This has like always been my biggest gripe about queer culture, right? Is that when we go backwards in time, the queer individuals in society were the eccentrics, were the artful, were like that was them. And so when you have these characters that are based on those, at first you're like, that's weird, but then you realize, wait, that is how we used to be, right? It wasn't our job, and we weren't desired to fit in with society. It was, we're just going to be ourselves, and we still have it, thankfully now. But like, it is that thing now where people don't want to be like that. They want to fit in as much as possible,
and people secretly root for those characters, and then so they now digest them very differently. They see them, although they may be all that, they may be all that, but they secretly love them, and they identify with that person. And then I think what that does is now open up the queer culture, that it's not all with the people wanted to be the pedophiles and all that craziness that they make it out to be. That's what, like my uncle, that's my uncle, and I love my uncle, and he lives with a bunch of men. I didn't realize it, but
exactly.
But wait, can I say one more?
Please.
Gaston.
Gaston for sure.
Bro.
We have to add Gaston to that. I also wanted to add. I also wanted to add Maleficent. Maleficent.
Yes.
And the Joker. I think the Joker as well.
Even with heart.
Absolutely. Oh yes. All day.
My favorite animated. So this is not a villain, but it's just the funniest thing. So within like the animation community, the funniest one of all of them is Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Oh my God.
For people that don't watch that show, there is a particular episode where Bob essentially comes out as bi, right? It is the smallest snippet, but then after that show, little bits start coming out of all these things. Like he made a line about like the worst things happen in bathrooms, things like that. Like very much telling. And like the Bob's Burgers community, like they think it's amazing. You would think it's the opposite, but they actually think it's amazing because here's this character that on the surface just seems like your average, everyday American dad. And then that one episode shifted everything. And so people went back and they watched the show again and they're like, wait, is this why Bob has this really unusual relationship with Marshmallow, who's a trans person who's like a key part of this show, and it's changed the whole thing. And I think that's part of that subversive again. It's like you don't have to necessarily be a villain or a hero or anything like that. It's just being yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to fit the box.
You have to fit the box.
Do we think that Cruella is a lesbian?
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah, you could see that?
I could see that.
We can see, honestly, we can turn everyone.
No, right? We want to turn everybody gay. All right, let's move on. A pair of gay actors and real-life husbands are making the Yuletide gayer. You heard it right. Taylor Frey and Kyle Dean Massey are donning their gay apparel. The beautiful couple is bringing more LGBTQ plus representation and love into everyone's homes in their new film, A Christmas to Treasure. As the third Lifetime holiday movie centering on a gay holiday romance, the couple is beyond excited to showcase their love on screen, and we are loving it already. A Christmas to Treasure follows a group of friends as they reunite for one final hometown holiday treasure hunt. As the search unfolds and fond childhood memories are relived, sparks fly once again between Frey and Massey's characters. The hubbies are enjoying every moment together as they recently celebrated their 6th anniversary.
You received a rather strange piece of mail.
Yeah, this is Miss Marley's handwriting.
I thought that was just town folklore.
I think the whole gang got one.
So what? She just left some buried treasure behind for us to find, like some silly kid's treasure hunt?
What if there really is like a buried treasure out there? How are you? Great, thanks. You didn't know I was gonna be here. No one disclosed that to me.
He broke your heart. Maybe he's just trying to make things right.
Maybe there's a clue in the letter. As you bundle up like the snow-covered bison and let my map lead you. Guys, we found it! Okay, so what are these other X points? Maybe the 6 key locations? Does this thing open back here?
Oh.
1 down, 5 more to go.
The reason Miss Marley brought this hunt back to life is because she wanted to bring you two back together. I just thought you should know.
We're all very lucky to have our families, but especially this little family right here.
Nikki! I found it!
Hello, what about the treasure?
treasure.
I think we might be standing on it.
Guys, I think I hit something.
Is it heavy? Could it be gold?
To my 6 rascals. Thanks for keeping us young all those years and coming back for one last adventure.
This Christmas is turning out to be one of the best I've had in a long time.
There you go.
Question number 3 with a Bacardi shot.
All the good comments.
I wish that you folks at home would hear what happens behind. You know what? It's better off that you behind the scenes. Question number 3 with a Bacardi shot. I'd swallow that. Lifetime's new queer holiday movie is sexy because of real husbands as stars. No one's drinking.
I'm gonna drink because I think it's adorable that they're husbands, that they work together. Yes, they are the whitest people in the entire world.
That's the whitest guy at the
I know, it's so
There you
cute.
go. Come on, Wonder Bread. Yeah.
Hello, like when could we turn on a Christmas movie and see any LGBTQ? And
Are we brainwashed by all the hetero Christmas Carol crap that we've had to see our whole life? That like now this comes up and we're like, it ain't brown enough, it's not black enough, it's not gay enough. It's
there
not.
was one black person and one Asian.
And he was more like mocha.
So,
You know they put that into like cross
check the box. So I said it was so cute, it was sickening. It was like everything about it was just so like sickening. It was like shove love down your throat, shove cuteness in your throat, shove this.
Just keep shoving.
Just keep shove.
What if it was a dick?
But
I like
I will say this though. I agree with you, Faye. I do love the fact that we got so much heteronormacy type stuff going on. And it's nice to see love in a positive. It's nice to see a couple who is truly built around love take it to the screen and not have to fake the intimacy that happens on their scenes.
Yeah.
You don't have a straight person performing act as a gay
You don't know
person.
that yet. They may not kiss each other or rather have a moment.
I saw a video of them together doing that interview and they talked about their whole love and how it was such a pleasure to see that whole experience together.
You watched that?
I watched it.
You watched the whole video?
I did because I was curious because again it was so vanilla. I mean, everything about it was vanilla.
Come on, research.
And then, but I will say this. Then they showed a picture of them holding their baby, and all I saw was pics. I saw the guy's butt, and I was like, I need to see more. I need to find out which one of those it was.
Wait, you saw their butt and
I'm
the
gonna
baby?
do a shot because I do love the representation. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna call it sexy, but I do love the representation.
And I'm gonna do a shot with you.
And I'll tell you right now,
I agree on the representation.
I don't care. I don't care if it's the most vanilla thing. I don't care if it's the most cookie cutter. I don't care.
Yeah.
You put gay people in front of everybody. Just keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Lifetime, whoever it is. Keep on doing it.
I agree with Auntie, okay? Yeah, representation, however we get it. But this or the Whitney Houston movie, I'm going to go see the Whitney Houston movie. Again, we're a little represented there, you know what I mean? She did have her love, you know?
But
Well, let's do it. You already have to go anywhere.
Watching. This is on Lifetime.
Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere to watch it. It's going to be on
who are
TV.
watching it from the
Lifetime knows
Midwest
the demographic.
also,
They got Project
who don't have really exposure to the LGBTQ community.
And it breaks the stereotypes.
Yeah.
They can now see that there are men who can love each other.
Right.
There are men who can live happily. There are men who can interact with heteronormative people and be fine and be happy with them.
Yeah, but hold on. We had this conversation when Bros came out. Nothing happened then. Why all of a sudden a change of heart?
Exactly.
No. I didn't say I was watching it. and very much just like Bros, this is typical. This is very much like Woke Manor. If you drive down Woke Manor, you see two white folks and they don't have any
but this is different. I'll say
so
though,
good.
this is different than Bros, right?
Why?
Because Bros is a movie in the theater. You have to make a choice to go see it. Lifetime, Netflix, all of these things, these are a part of everyone's daily life.
Yeah.
Why? Why is there a difference? I can turn off the channel. I can switch to the next one.
Because there are people that don't turn off the channel. And I know that sounds very strange, but there are people...
They keep it on 24/7.
Right?
Yeah.
There are people that watch Hallmark movies on 24/7 loops.
Yeah. And they won't tell anybody that they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens to this. It's like there are people that will watch it purely because it's on Lifetime, and that Lifetime gave it its little like bell, its ring.
Yeah.
That's different.
But you think we're changing minds?
I think we are changing some minds.
But listen, any representation is good representation.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what it is, because look at the amount of LGBTQ who are taking home their boyfriend or girlfriend for the first time for Christmas. This normalizes that for them and for everyone else.
Sure, but let's put it in perspective, right? And I know this is a horrible example. Let's say a black person goes in an interview, right?
Yes.
And then there's a white person that goes into an interview, right? This black person has to be on his A game.
Ooh, speak.
Right?
No, they all need to be on their A game.
No. This person already knows this this black person already knows he has one leg down.
Yes.
So he has to come even harder.
I don't think that's
when
a
we're
fair
talking
assumption.
when we're talking about gay movies, gay Christmas movies versus straight movies, we have to be on our A game
They
too.
have to be way
this
better.
corny
Better
shit.
written, better written, make us laugh,
but
and
I
stuff
don't
like that.
But and you're absolutely right.
Again,
I don't think they do though, right? And specifically this genre. This is different than the other genres. Specifically this genre, because this genre is so specific to the types, to the narrative, to everything else, that it actually challenges straight people when something is in the narrative that's not part of their narrative. So when they do see gay couples, couples that are in love, lesbian couples that are in love, under the same exact plot, it does actually affect them.
But you're speaking from a queer person. If
No,
you
I'm
were,
speaking this from people that I
but
know.
if we can define that or put this in data and finally realize or find what the science is to work around that really shows that this is going to make an impact on people that don't have the mindset that we do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, then I won't believe it until I see that. Is my point.
So may I ask you this? Think about this. So there is clearly there's a genre of people who love Christmas movies. That's why a lot of Lifetime.
There's people that watch that in June,
and they'll watch
Christmas in July or
they'll
something
watch
like
Christmas
that.
in July
Yeah.
or from Thanksgiving to Christmas. There's nothing but Christmas movies. So there's a bunch of folks that data has shown that they can show all these movies, have commercials, capitalism. People will buy commercials in these movies.
Yeah.
So they will watch whether they tune in entirely, but they'll listen to it. And what it does, at least gives some type of realization that these people, not that these people, that queer folks exist, they do love, they do live.
And they have normal lives
they
like
have
everybody else.
normal
We gotta move
lives.
on, guys.
Yeah.
We have to move on.
One
We
last
have to
thing.
move on.
This needs to be for us and not for everyone else.
Are we watching it? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I don't have Lifetime.
I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching it.
All this shit, and no one's fucking watching
I
it.
cut the cord.
It's right next to
I'd rather
home.
watch Yellowstone if I want to see white people.
I cut
All
the
right.
cord.
All right, next up. I love Yellowstone. Those are the only white people I watch, and I know that in real life, all those people hate LGBTQ, all right? I still want to sleep with Beth. I still want to go to Montana for some odd reason. I am looking for a rip in my life.
real ass
Okay,
shit,
so
though.
I'm just gonna ride a horse.
if I'm going to watch white people, I'm going to watch Yellowstone. That's it. All right, let's move on. Our home in Fort Lauderdale is full of interesting people. We're sitting with a bunch of them right now. This week, our best thing of the week. Oh, we're done drinking. Sorry, drink up if you want to drink. All right. God, see, Al is much better at this. All right, we're moving on to our best thing of the week. So this week, the thing of the week is a petition during a city council meeting. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Before you play this, Steve, I'm gonna do something that Al never does. I'm talking to you. Is this what I sent you? Yep. Yes. Okay. All right. Only two people at this table I also sent this video to. All right, and I'm so glad
Racist?
that production
Racist
felt my
much?
craziness and they added it. I'm so
Yes,
sorry. All right. Okay.
so
All right.
worth it.
So this is the best thing of the week, and I want you folks to tell me what you think. All right.
Okay.
Hit it, production.
Good evening, council peoples. You may call me Mistress. I am here standing neutral to the motion approving an agreement for the proprietary purchase of yard waste processing and disposal. I do, however, find it interesting that you will spend almost $1 million to hide your secrets down the drain. Hiding that condom I know you used to cheat on your spouse with. So, I propose that you use $25 of that mill to support doms and subs in Broward County to build a dungeon created for us by us, the taxpayers and voting citizens. In closing, do not let this glamorous look distract you from doing your duty to take my demand. I look forward to spanking each and every single one of you at the new esteemed dungeon. You are dismissed.
Okay, thank you. And happy holidays to you. Anyone else wish to speak? There being none.
City manager, are there any districts that have a dungeon?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
So what was the last thing that Dean Trentella said? He said, "Are there any other?
Are there any dungeons in Broward County?
In Broward County that we don't know about?" I love Dean. Dean, I love you. Okay, like you will represent us without representing us. I love it, right? Like,
and for everyone that doesn't know Dean Trentella is the first openly gay elected mayor of Fort Lauderdale in our 100th year history of the city.
Wow.
And he was successfully reelected for a second term.
Right.
Again, and it's the HRC rating that each city gets. Fort Lauderdale has had 100 the last couple of years, and that's because of the efforts of those like Dean Trentella. So anyway, so when I saw this on TikTok, I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I sent it to my brown brothers, right? And I was like, okay, kinky human and my brown brother. I was like, all right, what's going on? What happened here? And this was real stuff.
So let me tell you. So when I had to go back, because I was like, I wanted to see if I knew those individuals first and foremost.
Of course you
I'm listening to the voice. And so yes, there is a pansexual dungeon here in Broward County, folks. Just so we know, there really is a dungeon here. If you don't know, then you have to know someone and know someone. So that does happen here. But what I love most about that, all of that, is the representation matters and them living in her truth. That's right. Her going in and saying, we do exist. Her calling out those folks who often cheat, do the sex thing, and do all those things to get wiped under, but yet you want to point the fingers at kinky folks and saying that we're less than, we're not this, we don't deserve space. And so all of that, and then if you all watch that video to and from, you see the power in her walk, the power in the submission and the subs walk, the power in her ability to just stand and be. And the flip side of it is, women don't often get that power.
No.
That was the key of it all.
Yeah.
That woman, that mistress, stood on her own and said, we want this.
She took the power from all those men in the room right there.
Sucked it up. And then said, let me paddle you. And I guarantee you,
no,
as a pro dom,
I look forward to spanking each
as a pro dom, I guarantee you that some of them utilize, if not her, a service like that, because they empower so much that they need a release. And they come to us. They come to us for that.
One of my closest friends is a dom, and I mean, she tells me all the time, like, the people that come to seek her out, they are not just like, oh, this is some, it's like powerful
very
people.
Powerful.
And the thing about this particular thing that I love so much is that when I try to explain to people about living in South Florida, right, and what that's like, right, I know.
Cue the clip.
It's so difficult to explain to people, especially in like the lower counties, right? It's impossible to tell people about this is a world where you can literally live in your truth.
Yes.
Right? Out there, publicly. And it is something that we take for granted sometimes and don't appreciate that is the world.
Right.
Maybe because some of us come from worlds that aren't like that originally, but things like this, for me, make my heart leap. Like literally, because I tell people all the time, you'll have to drag me kicking and screaming, right? Like literally to get away from here, because just to be in a place, regardless of your freak flag, regardless of how extreme you are, you can just be yourself.
Yep.
And
you can
that's
find
so
a group.
great.
You can find a
You
group
can
that
find
feels
a
the
group.
same way as you and have a group to support you and whatever it is.
And whatever
it is. From pets to kink, whatever you've got going on, there's a group that will be there with you and will feel the same way.
And this really highlights what I love about kink is it is such an honest community.
That's
Be
right.
who you
have
are.
to be. You have
open
to be.
about what's going on. I do think I know who that is. But
you? Right. Well, somebody find that woman because I need to get her in bed.
I was listening.
Somebody call Nicole Hollowell will know who that is.
Nicole will know.
Nicole Hollowell will know who that is.
I don't think that's Emma. I don't think so.
Well, they're probably not wanting to be called that. I think the interesting thing about the whole this whole community in general, right? Like, we're very segregated. If we're really honest about who we are and what our community stands for and how we live our lives, we're very segregated. But by that segregation, we tend to not open our eyes to other communities. In this type of scenario, there are these kind of fetish kink communities that live true and live proud that I probably would have never seen if I didn't see this clip. And it makes me, I'm overjoyed. It's not my community, but I'm like, work, bitch. You just did that on TV. Yes.
And you would be surprised how much you would enjoy the kink community.
Yeah,
here's the thing, like I wanted to make myself more open. I wanted to other groups that subside in LGBTQ. Like I want to be able to not be afraid of harnesses and leather and kink because we're all the same. We're all trying to like just hide who we really are. No, let's be authentic.
But you know what helps is knowing who those people are, right? They're doctors, they're lawyers,
absolutely.
they're people in our community that you probably wouldn't have thought otherwise. And that's what makes it easier for you to be open to these types of scenarios or these types of communities. Because if I know that my neighbor was doing it, I'm like, oh shit, bitch, I might want to try that too.
But the reason that we often hide those things is because you might do it, but the neighbor beside you is now gonna shame it and now gonna cause harm. And so I go back to the moment in Leather and Cake when brown folks were not invited. And if we had to come, we had to be with a white person. And not only that, we had to show like 3 or 4 or 5 different types of ID. Go back to women who are kinky, who are not welcome in leather spaces, who are more leather than some of those people. And so we have to now change the narrative. And to your point, John, I think it's a great point. We have to now take our friends with us. And you and I went to a wonderful event together.
Okay, and I took you because you understand? So I'm not going to go into a place by myself. I don't have that, I just wasn't going to. So who am I going to call? Elimination, there's this party.
There you go.
I want to be open to this. Can you come with me? Not even a thought. I'll be right there. Let's go. I want to show you. If I get to introduce you to this world in a nice, safe way.
Yeah.
And mind you, these people were engineers and lawyers. Some guy worked for NASA. I was like, what?
Leather is expensive.
And so let me.
It really is,
and Onyx,
I'm a leather bitch.
In the group we have doctors, we have psychologists, we have presidents of organizations. But at the moment that you can be all of those things and still be kinky and still be in leather.
Yes.
And leather doesn't also, those people were in latex that it looked like. So you don't have to always be about sex. It can just be about the way it makes you feel.
Yeah.
It can be about, I fell into leather because I love the smell of it. My mother was in a motorcycle club and so I smelt the leather, the cut, and how it made her look and the power that it gives. And so that was for me how I fell in. Now the sex is amazing.
It's always amazing.
The Elimination Chamber is awesome.
We can imagine.
How about you, Cal?
This
How about
has been the most exciting chamber meeting in history.
Right?
And I honestly can't wait after the show to text Dean and ask him. I worked on his re-election campaign. So
You have to.
And so I'm definitely going to.
Please say, FayWhat sent me this video.
Yeah.
You were calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I just can't wait to get his candid response. So
I just can't believe how cool they all were. Like, just pretty much went back to business.
They have to be, yeah.
You can't make them seem like you're not including them. You have to sit there and take it. You get 2 minutes. You get 2 minutes.
When's the next meeting?
Been dying inside.
Yeah.
And she called him with that shit. Like,
They're taxpayers like everybody else.
Hear me. I heard you. I'm calling you out.
Yep.
Bam.
This is what I know about the dirty condom.
But that's what I thought the best part about it was at the end when the commissioner asked the city manager if we actually had any dungeons in Broward County.
It would have been great if someone was like, we do. Anyway.
We do. All right, we're going to move on. So each week It's Happening Out, we ask our hosts about what is important to them. All right. But the twist is that they must tell us what's important to them in 30 seconds or less. Or you hear some bell that I hate. I hate that bell. So I just refuse to use it, all right? So if after 30 seconds you're still talking, I'm gonna go, shut up! instead of ringing the bell, all right? This segment is called What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus pizza of choice of South Florida. Don't drop my pizza, Cal. What's on our mind is the deep dish Detroit-style pizza, or perhaps a cauliflower thin crust for you vegans out there. It's delicious. Jets Pizza has been with It's Happening Out for 4 years. They captured our attention for our 4th season with their campaign called Bigger is Better. And of course, they're talking about their slices, mal pensado.
They are.
What did you think I was talking about? Elimination.
Sucio.
Jets supports a huge variety of LGBTQ plus events and nonprofits with more than 400 locations nationwide and 35 right here in Florida. They are considered one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And the South Florida LGBTQ plus community loves their pizza. This is why Jets Pizza is our sponsor of What's on My Mind.
Vanna Whiting.
You like that? All right, and you didn't drop the pizza.
He almost did, though. You were mad close.
No, I didn't.
It was like
It was so.
You gotta showgirl the pizza.
I'm gonna throw the pizza.
Watch episode with
You gotta do
Vanna White.
You're Vanna Brown.
Yes, that's what I used to call myself in middle school. Yes.
All right, we're gonna start with Jonathan Casañas.
You would start with me because you knew I didn't have anything to say. Damn.
You always have something to say.
I did remember something. Last week, I volunteered at an FIU. We had this after-school youth program where we had a field day, and I didn't want to do it. I actually did it because my boss was going to give me half a day from work, and I ended up loving it so much. It's kids from the city who don't really have the means to do any kind of sports or even have after-school care, so they had a field day for them, and I actually coached a football team. And they called me coach, and they really look up. Yeah.
Oh, you love love that.
I really
Put
loved
me in,
it.
Coach. Put me in,
So
Coach.
this Christmas, everyone should volunteer and like give back in some way, and not just monetarily. Maybe some way that you can give your time. It's really it gives.
How old are they? How old are they?
They're between
getting paid.
They're between 11 and 13 years old.
So Jonathan just gave me a Woody. I'm sorry. All
Yes.
Him saying
Yes.
like a lot of times.
Put me in, Coach. I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm glad I
Kal
remembered that.
Gajraj, what is on your mind, sweetie?
So this week, was so happy to celebrate with Faye her birthday.
Yay!
Hey, thank you.
So we had an entire weekend full of fun activities. And
We
yes,
saw.
we went to our house and we had brunch with Athena Dion.
Yes,
and,
we did.
And all of the drag queens, and that was awesome. And on Sunday, I actually went to Faye's church as well because it was for the children's Christmas pageant. And that was a really cool experience. So thank you so much for letting me experience that with you.
Of course.
And to share your birthday and to celebrate with you all weekend. So I'm really happy to have you in my
I
life.
love you, Kal.
Happy
Me
birthday.
too.
Shit.
Qué lindo.
Well, that was cute.
I won't make fun of you dropping the pizza ever again. That was
I will.
Super glue the pizza to the box.
Yo, honestly, it was this close. It was like, whoop. It was like,
I need like one extra step. Like, boop.
Aye.
It'll fold it.
Elimination, Onyx, what is on your mind, sweetie?
So, you know, it is Christmas, so besides Mariah and Darling Love and Whitney Houston and Best Friend Holiday and, you know, The Preacher's Wife, I actually want to talk about the commercials that are out there. And I want to highlight JCPenney because JCPenney has done a great job of highlighting our multicultural society, meaning that the disabled body, the able body differently. They have handicapped folks folks in wheelchairs.
I love that.
They have same gender loving folks, both men and women. They have interracial couples. And so I think they did a great job of showing that you can celebrate holiday and see it on the TV and be seen. And there are some other people who are doing that. You know, we're probably gonna talk about it later, but even baby dolls and action figures that are looking in brown. You see that on TV now, where we often didn't see that.
Yep.
And so if you didn't have a certain hue, you didn't see a toy that you wanted to have, or you could have representation of you.
I love that.
So my mind is the fact that our commercials now are showing differently able persons, that are showing same gender loving people.
I love
that
that.
are showing folks who are married to others, and it's happy, and we're celebrating it.
I love that. I didn't even know JCPenney was still open.
yo, that's what to say that, bro.
So there's that, but I will have to go by now. knowing
Yo,
that.
you
And
took
I'm
that shit out of my mouth.
Right, and
Yo.
I'm gonna chime in and piggyback on what Elimination was saying, right? Like growing up and being, I get it. Yes, I am privileged that you might not know that I'm Latina until I open my big ass mouth, right? But growing up, my brothers are brown, my dad is brown, right? And I would always look at baby Jesus and be like, why is this baby white, right? Oh, and why does Santa always have to be white, right? At Unity on the Bay, where Kal came to the other day, we had a black baby Jesus in the manger, right?
Wow.
And this beautiful little girl came up and was like, oh, the baby looks like me.
Yes.
I started bawling. I could not stop crying because it was like, she gets to see a baby that looks like her, you know?
But
and
not
then,
even that, like I was sitting in the front row next to Faye, and when Jesus was born, I'm like, Faye, it's a brown baby Jesus. And I got so excited.
And I was like, yes, it is, as it should be, right? And so then I went to the store the other day and I saw like hanging things like this, you know? And it's like, it's beautiful to be able to see yourself and your family in decorations.
Yeah.
More stores need to continue to do this, all right? It should not just be, oh, because it's Kwanzaa, we're gonna put out some Kwanzaa stuff, right? No, this is what our families look like.
Yes.
Right? And we should be able to buy these things at the store that represent our family. So kudos to stores that are actually doing that. Yeah. So thank you for allowing me to piggyback on you, Mr. Elimination. Bing. Auntie Maim, it's you, baby girl.
Oh my gosh, so what's on my mind is COVID.
Oh,
yes.
word.
So my brother and his husband just tested positive. And thankfully they're doing okay, but it's a reminder, and this is a reminder for us, a reminder for everyone. Everyone, please be aware that it is still out there. And besides COVID, there are other things. Pneumonia is rampant right now. The flu is rampant. Little kids, if you have children, RSV is rampant. It's putting children in hospitals. Please, for the sake of the holidays, I know you're going to see a lot of family. I know you're going to see a lot of friends, but also take precautions, right? Because I actually have a friend right now whose child's been in the hospital 4 times. And it is just something that we have to be aware of, that right now bugs are very strong. And I know that we're all tired of masks and tired of this and tired of that, but we have to keep protecting ourselves because I want to see everybody as long as possible.
Yeah.
So that's my
Amen.
little.
Amen. You know, and some of the hospitals locally have gone back to using masks again. We are there. And for some of these viruses, there's nothing that they can do for you. It's kind of like you got to wait. We'll help you with the symptoms, but there's not anything that we can do.
And we still don't know the lingering effects and how it ties to overall this and how that's connected to that. And if you, even before the COVID, you think about how bronchitis turned into pneumonia turned into this. You know, they were always connected in some way. And so now it's another level.
And nobody's talking about, people stop talking about boosters, right? I got 4 shots, all right? No, and I think you did too, Auntie.
Well, absolutely.
But nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody's like, hey, did you get your 3rd one? Did you get your 4th one? Nobody is talking about that anymore.
Nope. I got my flu shot too.
I got my flu and pneumonia.
Same.
But I think I would not just have, and it's funny you say that because I would have on the way here, a radio station was saying, in one of the commercials, if you've gone over 2 months, do you need another one? So pause. Why aren't we hearing this?
Exactly.
And those of us who have 4,
because
we need to go back.
Because Fauci's retiring. That's why.
That's right.
But someone's telling us to go back and look at our cards and say, hey, are we due? And why isn't the and then that brings back distrust to the medical community, especially for folks who struggle, who don't have health care, who it costs so much to go to patient first to get that test, and not even afford the preventative stuff. So you're not even telling me what I need to do to keep me out of it until I need it.
That's messed up. But yeah, because supposedly like every 4 months you were like you were supposed to get another one, and again, heard nothing for the last couple months. Mark Moffitt. Soon to be married, Mr. Mark Moffitt.
It is definitely on my mind. I am not going to be a Moffitt anymore. You'll have to just stay tuned to see what the new last name is.
Name reveal?
There is going to be a name reveal.
Is there a hyphen?
Wow.
No, but there are still going to be 2 double letters in it. But
that's 2 F's probably.
We hope.
No.
Okay.
So, but what's
for fuck's sake? There's 3 F's.
And maybe this is because I'm planning a wedding, but I'm really recognizing that this is the most stressful time of the year for so many people, and it hit me like a ton of bricks when the news about Twitch came out. Absolutely broke my heart. So what is on my mind is that I really hope that when people are looking at the invitations and obligations, that they feel free and strong to say no to things. If it gets to be too much, if you need to recharge your batteries, that's way more important than a party, than an obligation. Take care of yourself first.
I love that. I'm looking at you, Cal. I'm looking at you. You know, they tell us something in recovery. No is a complete sentence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and it's okay to say no. We're people pleasers, right? Because we grew up in a place where we're marginalized and told that we're not good enough and we're never going to amount to what normal heterosexual people will, right? So we're like always trying to please everybody because we're afraid that they're not going to like us tomorrow. That's BS.
I have to show up perfect. I have to represent myself. Well, and this is also really a nice way to uninvite Cal to the wedding. Giving him that little outfit.
But similarly too, if you send out invitations and you have family engagements and you have those things and you do have people that say no, check on them. Just because people feel very, and this is just human, very, very slighted, right? When a person turns them down and a person says no.
Oh, well, F you.
Right.
Yeah.
Check on people.
I'd rather you tell me no than not show up, mother.
Thank you, right?
So,
But the thing is,
I got a guest count.
check on those people.
Yeah.
Because
there's a reason that
you don't know why.
You don't know why, right? And I tell people all the time, like, never make an assumption, right? Whether it be positive or negative, never make an assumption. So if you have friends, you have family that you invite to things, you're like, no, thank you, I'm good, or whatever. It's okay to follow up with them, right? It's okay to say, oh, hey, is everything good?
Yeah.
Right? It's okay. Sometimes people just need that one person.
Yeah,
to
it's
check
true.
on them.
Look,
Take care of
I
yourself,
remember when I was, still drinking, and I had basically isolated myself from the whole entire world. And when people would call me and say, "Hey, do you want to do this?" I'd say, "No, it's okay. I don't want to impose." But in my mind, I was saying, "Ask me again, please. I don't want to be in my room alone." And many Christmases, I was by myself because of that. So ask twice. You never know. And again, like Auntie Maim has said in the past, and I have said in the past, social media is not reality. All right, you see that person looking beautiful, and they're, "Oh, it's the holidays. Oh my God, I love everybody." They might be alone on the holidays.
I said that mask, but I love what you said about sometimes you don't have to come, but let me find out why. Like, we missed you. What's going on? Because that could be the avenue that someone needs to say, you know what?
Are you sure? I can Uber you here. You just never know what. Because
I'm that person.
Change.
I don't do holidays. It's just a negative thing for me. And so July 4th, it's fun drinking I don't do holiday because it just reminds me of the family that I don't have anymore. And so you can invite me to a July 4th party, I'm not going to go. But if someone is say, hey, we missed you, why didn't you come? I could then have that conversation.
Right.
And so we had a conversation earlier. It may not be December 25th that you show up, but December 26th. It's not the holiday. It's not all about that. It's just about us getting together. And sometimes people just need that moment.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you, kids. Thank you, kids. Also on our mind is the Great Jets Pizza.
Oh, yes.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza. Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Thank you, Jets Pizza. All I heard was lesbian and something else. So I'm not going to repeat it. All right. Oh, and lesbian.
Faye's eyes, nose, and ears lit up like, hey, what happened? Where'd it go?
I know. What exactly is on a lesbian pizza? I want like 5
pepperoni and sausage.
All little toppings cut up with scissors.
Perfectly laid out, all specifically, you know, symmetrically.
Trim little triangle pieces.
Triangle pieces. I love it. Yes.
Yeah,
Looking
like butterflied mushrooms.
I love you, Jets Pizza. All right. Our Hotspots magazine will celebrate 37 years this fall, and it has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and the spirit of our Hotspots queer entertainment. So this week is sponsored by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. And when it comes to Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is a destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida for spectacular entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. Broward Center is the home for LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway national drag performers, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities of Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and all of South Florida. They support that LGBTQ plus community and are nonprofits unlike any other theater in South Florida. We are excited to tell you in upcoming shows the rich 2023 season that the Broward Center for the Performing Arts will bring to our LGBTQ plus community. Did you know that surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts? You knew that. Everybody at this table knew that. And that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. Thank you, Broward Center. I'm going to go see Tina next week. I can't wait. All right. After months of teasing us with pictures of Ryan Gosling with platinum blonde hair and tanned abs, sexy Margot Robbie, and an endless series of confounding paparazzi set photos, Warner Brothers on Friday finally released the first footage for Greta Gerwig's upcoming Barbie movie, which is full of gay vibes. The teaser shows Margot Robbie's story with Helen Mirren doing the voiceover. We will also get to see the sex education famed Gatwa as Ken in the movie. Gatwa is stealing the hearts of many young gay men already since the famous Netflix series. Wait till July 21st of next year. Our Hotspots Queer Entertainment headline of the week, come on Barbie, let's go party, is gonna be the queer plastic, and LGBTQ plus loves it. What do you folks think?
I am hormonally obligated to watch anything with Ryan Gosling in it. I mean, those, it doesn't matter what he does. He looks like he just needs to be tied up and he's going to like it.
I didn't know that was where that was going to go.
All right.
How about you, Auntie Maim? Auntie Maim?
You've been excited since they even thought about maybe doing the Barbie movie.
Well, okay, so I'm very excited because Greta Gerwig is amazing, right? Greta Gerwig is not just a typical director. She's basically like an art house director that is making something commercial. And that, if you guys don't know this, was a direct scene-by-scene rip of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like literally scene by scene, the little girl part. Like, it was literally from the movie. And to me, that alone spoke volumes because that already told you immediately, this is where this movie is going to go.
Style.
It's got parody. It's got all of this stuff. And I love it because it is as over the top, just in the trailer. It's as over the top as any queer kid who is obsessed with Barbie. This is what we wanted, right? We don't want subtle. We want it to be as ridiculous as possible.
Plastic,
like
over the
watching
top.
Shang-Chi, like literally doing dance moves, like everything. It's gonna be the craziest movie. And I love it though because I know the director is making something that's going to be, there's more to it.
It's going to be different
than just that.
Yeah.
And I think that a character like this that's been around for over 60 years, we joke about Barbie a lot, but Barbie is an integral part of American culture. It is just as relevant as Twinkies, as everything. It's like, it's there. And like what Mark was saying, like this character, that outfit's the original outfit. That was in the 60s, right? Imagine a doll having that type of outfit in the 60s of all time. It was life-changing. And it's based on, my favorite part, because this is all based on the kink community, it's based on a sex doll from Germany. That's the original design.
I didn't know that.
Barbie is based on a doll that was like an adult doll from Germany that like they sued Mattel. It was very bad.
Oh, the million moms are gonna be up in
I have never
arms
seen
about
you.
this.
Yeah, wait till they
No,
get
I
that part.
can't because because the thing is for me, like I love, there's this cross section, right, between gayness and girliness, right? And I love that world. I know that everybody doesn't love that world. I love that world because the thing is that these dolls help little girls to realize so much about themselves. And I think because I had so many female friends growing up, I know because I have those friends. They are doctors, they are dentists, they are this thing that when we were kids in the 80s, that still was not a thing that they were telling little girls like, oh yeah, you can do this.
You can be anything.
You can be anything. They were not doing that. So these dolls help that process.
Well, because they came out with like a Barbie doctor.
Barbie doctor, Barbie astronaut, Barbie, like everything. And so it did help to reinforce when society was still saying like their highest achievement is going to be a wife and mother, right? Because that was still the 80s. Everybody, that these dolls helped that journey for them.
Yeah, no, and I know so many people that are our age, boys, that would sneak when they were kids and take their sisters' Barbies, you know, because their parents would be up in arms, God forbid, you know. I'm happy that we live sort of in a different world. Like I've got great friends that have kids that let their kids, hey, play with a doll, play with a truck. I don't care.
Whatever it is.
Just play, right? It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And but the diversity in the three Barbies, the diversity in the three Kens is also to the next level because again, if you had a sister and you played Barbies with your sister and you played dolls, you had to have someone who was brown and chocolate, had play with this yellow person with blonde hair, and you had to play, and you had to do. And we didn't get a brown Barbie, and so way, and it was our best friend Skipper, who got no clothes, had no house, had no car, had nothing.
Skipper.
Whatever the name was, you know. And so I love the extra part, even with Issa Rae, and that's that promotion. The extra of the smile, the extra of the moment,
whole thing.
The whole extra. Even and you know, I think that's what we need to celebrate. That we can now show the diversity. And all of that, we can be funny, it can be still relevant, and then Barbie is still an institution that's going to be around 25 years later.
Forever.
And what I hope now is Skipper gets her home, Skipper gets her condo, and that
Skipper,
right?
You know, I mean, but that and get realistic clothes because we need to now show our young people that when they want that, because you know, think about those stories that happen where they would give that black child that doll that was brown or that yellow doll. And say which one was better, they only went to the yellow doll because that's all they knew, and black was bad.
That's all they saw, and that's all they saw
on TV. And so now they're going to be able to see a representation of themselves and be like, I want that. I want to be that.
The only credit I'll give to Barbie, because I'm a gay boy that didn't play with Barbies. I
Shocker.
played with Ninja Turtles and stuff.
But
the one thing that I saw that was cool about my sister's toys were the amount of accessories, bro.
Yeah.
Like she could turn her doll into anything she wanted. And then slowly our Ninja Turtles got like helmets and they got bats and they got extra accessories. And I was like, that shit came from Barbie because ain't nobody like fucking with accessories.
You didn't think anybody would buy that, right?
Yeah.
Like that was a part of it. I think the guy from Sex Education, I just want to give the biggest appreciation to the glow up that is his career, because I don't know if, obviously I'm a big nerd, but he is also the new Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. I knew he looked familiar.
And,
okay.
Like, I didn't know he was in the Barbie movie. I knew about Margot and Ryan. I didn't know he was in it. So literally, like, you see Shang-Chi, who is like now become an Asian American icon, even though he's Canadian. And him, it's putting actual people that are out there, not just in this Barbie world. They're making moves in the larger Hollywood community, and the fact that they're all coming together for Issa, all under this movie, it's going to be something.
Is it going to be a blockbuster? Do you think it's going to win at the box office?
This is because I'm telling you, there is something magical just in that.
You're so
just
excited about it.
No, I am.
Well, if they keep it where it's like for the general public, if it's like too adult,
I don't
maybe
think it's
not.
Gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be adult. I think it is for the because they can't completely do it like that.
Right.
This is something that's gonna be probably PG at most.
Still barbed.
Oh, okay.
But the
comedic.
thing, but the thing is, like, it's comedic, but
Gotcha.
it is. There are a lot of major people along the entire spectrum of Hollywood that are coming together to make this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally narrated by Helen Mirren. She was the Queen of England.
Yeah.
So that just shows the versatility
of everyone.
It's hitting all the boxes.
Yeah.
All the audience. I mean, again, it's hitting all the audience. It's a feel good. It's going to be feel good. It's going to be something that you can relate to. Even if you know. Again, I had a sister who had Barbies, and we had GI Joes. Again, they were still yellow. They were not. They were only that guy is the side character with the beard. We know. But again, this hits
terrible beard.
But this hits all the. So families can go together and celebrate. Mom can talk about to the daughter about when I had a Barbie. Now the child has a Barbie. And then and you can go with your gay best friend and laugh about the comedic craziness of it all and the extraness of it all, and then we can go have drinks afterwards and then talk.
Well, would you be mad if they don't have a gay character?
I wouldn't care. Because you're going to make somebody.
I don't give a
Ken is going to be gay because Ken got his own stuff. So Ken's going to be gay. Somebody's going to be gay.
Yeah. And just piggybacking on like what you were talking about with the representation, it's ironic that like this is the week of Christmas, and when I was 6 years old, my family and we went back to my parents' country. We're from Guyana in South America, and we went to go see Santa Claus in the department store. So we walk into the department store. I'm 6 years old. I'm with my mom and my dad. At the time, I was 6, and my little brothers were 3 and 1. And I went to go take this picture with Santa, and refused to take the picture with Santa because Santa was black. And it was because of that representation, because the first 6 years of my life, Santa was white.
Yeah.
Santa had always been white. I had never seen a black or brown, an Asian, a female Santa. That never existed. And here I am, this little brown boy, first generation American, going back to my parents' home country, seeing a Santa Claus that they probably have grown up, taking pictures with all of these kids in the department store. And here I am making the biggest scene, and my dad had to pick me up because I'm screaming, he's black, he's black.
Oh my God.
And that was the moment I actually did not believe in Santa again, because I'm like, how could he be? Like, how could I come home and
I've seen him white everywhere else.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean there's a different Santa? So at 6 years old, that was a concept I could not understand.
But that's just a brainwashing of life that has happened to all of us. At the end of the day, we were talking before the show about 2016 when Mall the Americas, the Minnesota Mall, had hired black Santa, white Santa, Asian Santa, whatever. And the people started protesting because supposedly the kids were confused. Because we were confusing Christmas. Because we were jodiendo Christmas. Because we were messing up Christmas. And Cal, it's your fault.
It is your fault, Cal.
The end of Christmas.
A mythical creature with 3 years.
How about that for a Hallmark movie?
How about that?
Right?
We talked about earlier. My first Santa Claus was black.
More life.
We talked about it earlier. My mother was Mrs. Claus, and we went to, there was a mall for our neighborhood that only had black Santa. So once we left that neighborhood, and my mother, she was no longer, who's this guy? That's not the guy that I know.
That's that white guy. He's sitting on his lap.
That's the pictures that I have, because I can honestly say that we have pictures of black Santa Claus, and then when you would go, then there's white Santa Claus, and then obviously for me, my mother was always Mrs. Claus, so I knew who the real Santa was, the real grandmother, the one who did all of that.
And my parents would have never known that I would have reacted that way.
No, how would they know?
How would they have
How do
known?
you know?
Something that I was conditioned to, and that was my reaction.
Of course. Well, now you believe on Santa. I've seen you sit on many Santa's laps.
Wow.
Okay. And they're not even Santa for real.
I have a picture.
It doesn't have to be Santa.
His name is just Nick. His name is just Nick, and he's sitting on his lap. All right. And speaking of hotspots, queer entertainment, any day of the week.
Any day of the week. Okay.
Here's a quick glimpse of Broward Center and its venues.
The Broward Center for the Performing Arts, Parker Playhouse, Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, Rose and Alfred Miniachi Performing Arts Center. 4 venues that together bring a wealth of excitement to our community through the performing arts. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the center for world-class live entertainment, arts education, special events, dining, and more.
Thank you, Broward Center for the Performing Arts. We love you. Next, we're proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m. every week. Happy holidays! I'm FayWhat! Wishing you a happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, and the best holiday season ever! You deserve it! Feliz Navidad y Prospero Año Nuevo. As a child, I loved the beautifully decorated churches during this time. I could look at them for hours. As an adult, I learned that that big sign in front of most churches that said all are welcomed usually didn't mean LGBTQ+. That is not the case at Sunshine Cathedral. When they say all are welcomed, they mean it. And that's why Sunshine Cathedral is #MyQueerChurch. I was looking for my Mrs. Santa dress. Why'd you take that, lady? Oh, wait a minute, that's me.
Wait a second. You can't host the show and then be featured in the Sunshine Cathedral spot either. I'm going to write a letter to production.
Do it. It's Faye. You know, she got an award. She's not a celebrity. You know,
that's right. She's got that award now. She's an award.
She booked and busy, bitch. She booked and busy.
And busy.
She's going to be in the Jets Pizza commercial next.
Next, because bigger is better. All right, next up, if we were standing around the LGBTQ+ water cooler, this is what we may all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ+ community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ+ community. Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ organizations. Very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ+ community's most important voice for LGBTQ+ young people. And that's why they're the sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. So a popular porn site, yeah, everybody got awake now, right? When I said porn, right? A popular porn site has some interesting data for us. What are this year's top porn trends? Well, you might be surprised. Which country watched the most porn in 2022 and who put porn aside during the World Cup?
Wow.
Pornhub has the answers to all your questions. According to the press release, Pornhub's #1 worldwide search in 2022 was hentai.
What is that?
Asian
Search
pornographic comics.
Search it on Pornhub.
Asian pornographic
Searches
comics.
for MILF swapped places with lesbian to compete for the top 5.
Whoa.
The big 2022 changes were the lesbian and ebony categories, both moving up one to replace Japanese as the top category.
What?
Look at us.
Move it up now.
What?
That BBC.
The #1 category stayed the same for both men and women in 2022, Japanese for men and lesbian for women. The U.S. continues to be the country with the highest daily traffic to Pornhub, followed by the UK. Shocker, right?
Shocker.
Jonathan and his husband, right? We wonder how much the holiday season will impact the traffic on such sites. Video. and video.
And just kidding.
And we're not going to have a video. All right, okay, so our hot topic of the week, porn is a science as Pornhub reveals trends and who watches the most online.
And USA is #1.
USA.
Porn and guns apparently are like the two things that we are.
Guns and
Did you
hate.
see that the big mover was lesbian scissoring? Was up 65 points.
Wow.
65.
That might be due to this show and the Halloween.
It could be. I'm surprised Golden Showers is not up there.
Oh my
you're a bitch.
God.
This is homophobia.
Water sports, right?
This is gay bashing right here.
Gay bullying right here.
You see the Golden Shower, no card, but amateur.
Yellow hankies away.
But amateur, you know, it still rising.
POV, yeah.
And I think that's
not amateur.
That's me and you got that.
It's switched from amateur to now more reality.
Which is going to be tested tonight.
Which is going to be, but and then again though, amateur reality kind of go hand in hand because it's the realness of it's not that Bow Chicka Wow Wow with the guys holding the camera. It's just
a little bit of production.
You know,
it's a little dirty.
And I also say that I do found this interesting because on my social media, I know content creators who just recently posted, where do you go to find your porn search? Like, what do you look at? So Pornhub is one, RedTube is one, XTube is one.
Pornhub is free. That's
all of that, and all of that. But what I found interesting about all of this was that Ukraine was in the top.
You gotta do something while you're getting bombed.
I mean, right?
Okay, and bombed in 2 ways.
Bomb bursting in and I'm exploding. Like, you know, all of that.
I support Ukraine every way that I can.
They got a lot of stress.
You really are, just by watching Pornhub. A couple more that went up was femdom.
Yes.
Pegging went up too.
Pegging's going up.
And cuckold. How do you say that?
Cuckold. Which is by far, honestly, it's my thing now.
Please, can you please?
Oh, do I keep saying that?
Jonathan can explain.
You're the one that I learned this from, so please.
Go ahead. Yeah, so pegging and cuckold are 2 different things.
Okay,
pegging is when a man gets penetrated by a female with a dildo. It could be anything, but with a dildo or an object, a harness, right? And the cuckold is when a man is, I guess he's being abused in a way where he has to watch his partner have sex with someone else.
Okay.
So he's kind of like the forgotten one.
Side piece.
The side piece.
Yeah.
Sitting in the corner just watching, and either getting off. Oh, that's a thing.
Okay, so hold on. But now you said you're into this, Jonathan. So
I am into
how
this.
are you into this?
So I don't know why, because I'm no longer into women. I've had sex with women, no longer want to do it, but I'd love it when they're still involved and when the man is being like
ridiculed
in a way. And where there's another guy kind of saying, yeah, I got your woman and I'm banging her.
And I'm watching you while I'm banging her.
And then, unless he brings him in some way, or she says, blow him.
Or watch.
I like that.
There's a whole script.
I love that.
This way, he says, mine is bigger than his. You ain't never felt this. You know, I can't. The other guy can't do how it hit that spot, hit that wall, hit that spot, and the guy has to sit there and take it. You know. But that's also, remember too, our trans siblings videos are now.
They have gone up.
Have now gone up.
They have gone up.
So I think that also shows acceptance. And hopefully not fetishism per se, but just more acceptance and allowing our people to have that expression, to be who they are and realize that sex in humans is beautiful.
And it's all safe, and you're at home doing it.
And that's the part that makes this way more fun, is that you're in your safe space.
Yeah.
You're not out there, you're not putting yourself in danger. You can watch whatever the fuck you want to watch, and no one's gonna tell you shit, because it is your search engine.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the favorites? Men's favorites being Japanese and second ebony.
Japanese has become, it's always...
Yeah, but it's like anime, right?
No. So it's different. So hentai and Japanese are 2 different categories.
Got it.
Hentai is animation. It's animated, it's art, it's that kind of thing. The Japanese is specifically, unfortunately, it is that same submissive Asian woman type of stereotype. And a lot of the people that view the Pornhub and things like that, they are traditionally white males, and that is their ideal woman. Is just a submissive Asian woman. So it is interesting. The hentai thing is really interesting because it is, I mean, it used to be very much fringe, that it's actually grown in that kind of, I didn't realize it even grown in that kind of popularity, but
a lot.
I think it goes kind of hand in hand with the fact that anime and that culture has also grown, that you would never be able to discover there's a dark side.
So I'm the only woman at the table, but their top ones is lesbian, and lesbian, scissoring, and trans male are their top 3 things to look up.
Whoa.
What do you think about that?
That sounds hot.
So I wonder if it's straight. Is it straight women? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I think women, women, since we're kids, we're always sent to the bathroom together with other women. We're allowed to be more friendly with other women in that way, right? And it turns into something, everybody's got that college time, right?
Yeah.
So I think that for a lot of women, that they could see it in a fluid space and still get turned on by another woman and not be gay.
But I think what was even more interesting, the category that scored the least by women was big dicks.
Well, I mean, why is that interesting?
It's not.
But I thought.
Because it was all women. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I thought when I heard the same poll on the radio, and I thought lesbians were up because men were watching lesbians as well. It wasn't just voted by or whatever watched by women. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Well,
lesbian is accurate.
Came in the top 5.
Okay, of all. Gotcha.
Everybody involved. And then it breaks down the categories a little bit more, right? So it says Gen Z, their top was threesome and virtual reality, all right? Gen Y, Asians and threesomes. Gen X, crampy? What is that?
Cream pie.
Cream pie. What is cream pie?
Oh, it's like facials, like when you get
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not. It's when you ejaculate someone and it comes out.
Cream
and
pie.
Yeah.
Sorry. My brain
Not
forgot
in the
about
eye.
My brain forgot about what it was.
Got it. No, and it's funny to see Auntie's face when she figured it out. She was like, "Oh damn, yeah, I know what that is."
I think
it
I
happened
shut
to me.
that away. That was shut away.
As one does.
So and MILF was also cream pie and MILF, and then for boomers was hand jobs. That's
I think I find it out. Like,
what are they gonna look at?
Well, the older people, they just want a good old hand job, you know, like.
But they're watching hand jobs.
Yeah, like,
it takes me back.
That's
I remember when my penis wasn't that wrinkled.
Or the situation that you're giving someone, that you're watching someone get a hand job. And so what I found
ding.
What I found was interesting was that positions ranked up there with men. Feet, and we talked about feet in that niche a lot. And then outdoors. And so here's me. I got a rental of a Highlander. So here's me taking a picture and like it's hitting up all my content creators. Say, hey, I have this Highlander. And he's interested in making some outdoor content.
What's a Highlander?
It's a big
SUV.
Jeep.
Oh, got it.
A whole lot of space.
And my brain went somewhere else.
It's a whole lot of space.
It's a backdrop for his porn.
Maybe it was outdoor. It was outdoor in a sketchy place. It hits all the boxes.
It was hitting all the boxes.
All the boxes. And so I thought that was kind of interesting too. That those things that we commonly talk about are now truly is showing that we are truly the most diverse. Now, pinky is always, but we know from which we talk about. America needs to continue to watch season 4 and this cast because we got it going on.
We got it. We got all the box.
The thing about Pornhub and these searches is always this very intriguing to me is that it's revealing. You know, I mean, we have a culture right now that, I mean, lesbians is topping all of these different things. Meanwhile, lesbian and gay relationships are being villainized, and you're like, so people clearly have their own leanings when they're not in front of the public.
Yes.
And that's why every year these things come out, and it's always intriguing to me because you think about culturally where we're at, and you think about culturally how 50% of the population and more than that is, and then you look at these searches and you're like, well, these can't all just be just everyday people that we come across. This is people all across the country.
And it is.
I'm gonna take it to the next level. It's also
Yes, I
safe.
knew
As you mentioned, it's safe. Our communities are being targeted, so it's safer to get my fix at home, where I know someone won't beat me up, someone won't bash me, someone won't shoot me, and so that's why you're seeing these searches, and then it's also revealing who our community is. That don't often get capitalized or get checked on because they're not out there. They're staying home. And
I'll take it a step further. What Auntie Maim was referring to is like fetishizing a certain category of people, and like saying, you know, I'll fuck a black person, but I won't marry a black person.
Well,
and so you're saying like I may be friends with them, but I'm not gonna marry them, but I'll watch you on porn and like fetishize about you.
But even with the fetishes, the most searched character was Harley Quinn.
There you go.
What?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's followed by Star Wars characters.
Wow.
Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
Well, cosplay.
Cosplay. Role playing and all of that.
Just the cosplay, the whole element of that is just like the hentai. That is becoming mainstream. So the converse of it is that the sexualization of it is also starting to become a thing. There's these people that I follow on Facebook. They're like trainers. It's like a husband and wife, and they used to be very like normal trainer kind of couple. Now they've embraced cosplay, and the cosplay has now led to much more erotic content, right? Wow. It's a husband and a wife, and it's been interesting to watch the evolution because it has turned off people, but it's also attracted people.
Yep. What's that screen name?
Yep. Yeah. Look for it.
Again, when you play that match, you
become another.
And you can live your moment.
You could be whoever you want to be.
Right.
And that's what's beautiful.
What I thought was the funniest was we were talking about the World Cup and you know the countries who, with the porn views went up, and Australia was one of the biggest ones that went up by 6%, and the statisticians. Theorized that it was because when that match was played, it was shown at 6 o'clock in the morning in Australia. So people who normally watch porn or masturbating at 6 o'clock in the morning were watching the game and, you know,
well, what
good old hand job
in the morning, right?
And watching porn.
Please yourself. All right. So thank you to Hot Topic for sponsoring our Hot Topic of the weekend. Wow, it was hot.
That was super hot.
So it's time to say goodnight, folks. So let's hear from our host for one final goodnight, and we're going to start off with a goodnight from Jonathan Casañas.
Yeah, well, listen, it's the holidays. What better way to spend the holidays than with your person and give them a gift? And why? How not give them a gift? Wait. Let me start that over.
Too many shots.
One take.
And a good night from Jonathan Casañas.
And you're dope. Go ahead. Be dope. Just be dope.
I think I had a stroke, you guys. I said what I was trying to say was give them the gift of Forward Miami Gala. Gay Ocho Festival is happening. It's brought to you by the Forward organization. It's a nonprofit that I sit on the board of. Our gala is coming in February. Our seats and tables are selling out. So buy them now. Gift them a seat at the table. Do it now because we have runway shows. We have 3 acts that are going to perform. We have an after party. It's going to be incredible. So please, it's going to be at the Biltmore. It's happening February 9th. So I would appreciate it if you did that. Okay. And I'm sorry that I struggled through that. But I've had a stroke.
Gayocho.com? Or is it .org?
Yes, so you can go to Gay Ocho Festival. It's Gay 8 Festival at Instagram. You can go to gay8festival.com, or you can go to my Instagram at one huge long name.
Get your tickets today, okay? It's an awesome gala. I went last year, and for anybody who likes brown people, you'll see a lot of very good-looking brown people there.
Yeah.
So get your tickets today. And a good night from Auntie Maim.
Oh my God! Good night, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Christmas, happy whatever, right? Celebrate each other. Celebrate our differences. Celebrate our cultures. We say happy holidays because it's not just one holiday. It's lots of holidays. So when you see that, don't get triggered. Do it because we're trying to be inclusive. And I want you all to have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends.
Yay.
And we'll see you on the other side of 2023.
All right. And a good night from Kal Gajraj.
Good night, everyone. It was so nice being here with everyone. And like you said, the holidays are here. You know, this weekend, I'm looking forward to spending Christmas Eve and Noche Buena with some family and friends, and then Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day, and of course, like all the events that are coming up, because I'm going to go see the Drag Queen Christmas show at the Parker Playhouse on Monday. So I'm totally excited about that. But most of all, I'm excited about taking some time off. Today was actually my last day at my day job for the year, not permanently. And I have PTO for the rest of the year.
I was fired.
I'm not working. I'm not teaching. You know, there's no school.
I love that.
So I'm just being able to be here and relax and reconnect with my friends and go to dinners and lunches and brunches and, you know, meet up with everyone and just catch up and just celebrate the end of the year.
I love that, man. Use that PTO so you don't get PTSD, right?
PTO means prepare the others. I'm not, out of office is already up.
Yes!
I like that.
Okay. A good night from Elimination.
Well, good night, my season 4 castmates. Loved it. It's always a great time here at the table. I just, as we struggle through the holidays, remember, don't struggle on the cost of a gift. A simple hello, I love you is a free gift that you can give to anyone. So don't struggle over the cost if you don't have it. Just be in someone's life. Be real, be visible, be authentic. I think that means more than a $50 gift card. As you know, as this one that you can follow Elimination on Instagram. Season 4 cast. Happy birthday, my wonderful sibling. It's always good to be celebrate another year and grow with you for another year. And love don't cost a thing. So just doing my happy holiday moment. Love don't cost a thing. Give that every day.
Yes, thank you, Elimination. Mark Moffitt, we end with you, my friend.
I'd say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and just to keep in mind, y'all, that we throw around this term chosen family. This is the time of the year to make them feel chosen. So just like we were talking about before, reach out, check on them. You don't know who's at home drinking or who just feels awkward and who wants to be asked twice to come out. So choose your chosen family.
I love that. Well, that's it. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table as we kikied on the things that are important to our special community. And like how everyone at the table said, look out for each other. It's not an easy time for everyone, right? Everyone's like all jolly and all that kind of mess. Not everybody's happy about that, you know? And just remember that, all right? Love on people. We've been having a lot of deaths in our community the last couple of months, too many. And I'm sick of people saying, oh my God, that person was incredible. That person was such a great person. What a great friend. What a great advocate. Tell the people in your life while they're alive. Ain't nobody got time for that crap after they're dead. Let them know that. I send people constantly just a text. Hey, thinking about you. Love you. Quick and easy. I don't want to reply back. Trust me, I don't got time to reply to you. But I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you and you're important to me. And my life wouldn't be as full without you. And you've got folks in your family and your chosen family that make you feel the same way. Make sure they know that, all right?
We love you.
Love you.
Al Ferguson, I got next week without you too. Boom.
We continue your birthday. Your birthday going into 2023.
Yes! Well, so we invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ plus community important to you? Our mission means we deeply believe it is. Pick up Hotspots magazine on newsstands all over South Florida. Queer News Tonight, covering the LGBTQ plus news of South Florida, America, and our world, is daily and live at 9 p.m. on Roku, Apple TV, and many other television platforms. And our flagship is with you right here tonight and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Because remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Until next time, bye.
Yo, I can't believe I had a stroke. I was going to use that clip for a minute. And I walked out.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.